Hey, we're back again. Coon Prairie Ramblers, ramblinating along the trail.
Ramblinating.
Ramblinating.
All right, new word.
Is that a verb?
That's a word that it is now.
Yeah.
Ramblinating.
And then we got the KC over there.
Right here.
And got the Luke over there.
And guess what? It's
and right
time
over here,
for.
we got the mailman.
Yeah, we
Guess
do.
what time it is?
And now it's time for that infamous
Uh-oh.
F-bomb. Getting ready to
have
fall. Right, Brother Casey has got a good one for you. He's going to tell you about it in just a second. But anyway, y'all take cover because here she comes.
That may be the best one ever. Hard to work.
Mercy.
That's depending on how you look at
Mercy,
it.
mercy. All right, Brother Man, tell us
All
about
right.
the F-bomb.
We're going to open up Pandora's box.
No.
Yes, we're going
My
to do
mother
it.
told me to stay away from people like
Run,
you.
Forrest, run.
If somebody came to you, knocked on your door,
Hello, baby.
you open the door, and there's some person with this big box.
Big box.
And it's
Big
got
box.
all the things
Bodacious
that you've
box.
lost in your life in that box.
All the things you've lost.
Are there some things you'd be glad to see? Are there things that you would wish
You're
had
trying
never
to shut
been
the box back up as soon as you
bought back?
look
Or
at
would
it?
you? Would the good outweigh the bad? What would you
Oh,
be
my
glad to
goodness.
see?
What would you be glad
I'd be
to see?
afraid to look.
What would you be glad to see?
What would I be glad to see?
Yeah.
Well, any money I lost, you know.
That don't count. That ain't
No,
real
okay,
stuff.
okay.
That ain't real stuff.
What about speaking of scratching the top of your head?
I'm trying. My hair?
Yeah.
You know what?
I'd be scared. I look in the box and see a bunch of hair in there. I'd be scared of that.
I'll be glad when it's all gone.
Well, we can take care of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll
We
bring a
can do
razor
that when
next
we
week.
get through
Yeah.
here.
We're going to
finish it.
shave Mel live next week, so you'll have some pictures of that.
Yeah. Unless it was curly hair. Nice, fluffy, curly hair with a
Wavy or
like
curly?
a Superman, curl,
A spit curl on
A
the
Steve
front.
Reeves coming
Yeah.
down the middle. I would take one of those. That's pretty neat.
Okay.
Well, I used to ride in the rodeos a little bit.
No.
And I had some really
Bicycle?
cool
Rodeo. Cattle.
pictures,
Horses.
photos of that people would take, and they'd sell you a photograph of yourself. And I had some a couple of them that really looked spectacular, a lot better than what I really was.
Yeah.
And I don't know whatever happened to them, and I'd love to have those back.
They got to be somewhere.
No, they could have got
photos?
burned up or something.
Why would they get burned up? They're
I have
in
no
your house
idea. I don't
somewhere,
know where they're
bet.
at.
I bet they're in the house
Only
somewhere.
thing I got from that era that is a pair of spurs. I don't even have any more. Dalton's got them now, but it's a pair of, they're special spurs made for riding broncs. And so I have those. But I had chaps,
Gloves.
bareback rigging, gloves, all that stuff, and it's all gone. And one time when I was a kid out at Deep Lake, and if you're listening to this, you may not know where Deep Lake is, but on 31 across from GPW Hospital, there was a lake out there.
Still there.
And
Still deep,
yeah.
too.
and yeah, it was real deep. It's not very big. It's a little like a little
Round.
bowl, round.
Yeah.
But it was extremely deep. And I was walking around there one day and playing in the sand or something, or with a stick, and uncovered a arrowhead. And it was the most perfect arrowhead I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, yeah.
And I held it and looked at it. And
It came from
cleaned it
Walmart,
up.
didn't it?
Huh?
It came from Walmart?
Yeah, right.
Came from Deep Lake. And I took it home and kept it for years. And right now, I don't know I have no idea whatever happened to it.
Casey.
Fell into the black hole.
Man.
And back in the 60s, there was a jet flying out over Bright Hour, and they had some sort of mechanical problems, and it crashed. And the guy ejected the ones of fighter planes where you can eject the whole seat, cockpit, and everything, And when he did that, he was upside down in the plane. The plane was flying upside down at the time. So it ejected him right into the parachute, so it never opened. And, I mean, it just drove him right into the ground. But where that jet crashed at, there was a huge hole. And we heard about it as soon as we were out of school. We headed out there. And it was, back then, I mean, there's not all the people to rope it off and do what all they do nowadays. So we all were right there at it, and I found some sort of like an A&L fitting that looked like it was. I mean, I know it was part of it. It was anodized, and it was part of that jet. And I kept it, put it in my pocket, took it home, and
You scavenger.
and I don't know where that is to this.
I think all the stuff is in a box somewhere at your house, and you've been collecting.
I would love to have
treasure.
it.
It's in your attic or
Casey,
something.
yeah, that's right. I was going to say it's in the attic.
And when I was a little bitty boy,
When I was a little boy.
And
we
the
were
devil
living
called
in
you.
Norfolk, Virginia, and I was walking around out in this back area. It was like a courtyard. The houses were built all the way around it, and in the back there was this big open area where all the kids would play, and they had clotheslines and stuff. But anyhow, I was out there and I saw something on the ground. And I leaned over and picked it up, and it was a coin. I didn't know what it was, and I took it home, and it was a silver dollar that was minted in 1949, which is the same year as my birth. And I had that thing for 1,000 years, it seemed like. And now all of a sudden I can't. I have no idea what I ever did with that. I should have had a little.
I am getting very disappointed here.
That's weird.
And I should have had a box or something that was dedicated to keeping those little
I think that's where they're at. They're in that box. You just forgot where the box is.
I guess so.
Did you bury it out back?
Yeah.
Where'd you live when?
And
when
right
you had
now I'm looking for my earbuds. I can't find my earbuds. My wireless earbuds.
So if you've
you're
seen them out
and-
there,
and you see my wireless
call
earbuds, I'm looking for them.
WFLN.
So what about y'all? Y'all got anything you'd like to find?
my 64 and a half Mustang, but I didn't lose it. But I sorely do wish I had that car.
Oh, boy.
Man.
I lost a dog one time on a camping trip. It was my daughter's dog, actually, and I felt horrible about it. And we was down in the swamp, and either it died or starved or a gator got her or something. We couldn't find her when I got ready to come home. And
Just wandered off and
yeah, well, we had a bad lightning storm, and she was terrified of lightning.
run off.
And I was cooking ribs, and they were almost done, and it was starting to rain, and the lightning was getting closer, and the thunder was popping, and she was jumping all around, and the ribs were like almost ready to take. And I tell you that what I should have done, if I thought about it, was take her and put her in my truck and shut the door.
Oh, yeah.
She couldn't have went anywhere. But I looked around, and she was gone. And anyway, the next day we hunted and hunted. I drove back down there for a couple of days after that. Couldn't find it. I'd like to find this little old beagle mix. It was my youngest daughter's.
It's a long
Raised
tooth
from a
dog
puppy.
now with gristle
gator bait.
muzzle. Yeah.
Gator bait, long time ago. And
How
I
about
had
the ribs? Were the ribs okay?
They were, but I couldn't enjoy them as much without her. She wasn't there to enjoy them with us. But
Didn't have no dog to throw the bone to.
lost a few pocket knives over the years. I'd like to have back.
no,
And
there's another one, yeah.
good pocket knives, and I've lost my granddaddy's shotgun. He had a sawed-off shotgun. Who I was named for. I mean, I was named for him, but I had a shotgun hanging in my bedroom. He was dead before I was ever born, and I kept it in there. It was a sawed-off double barrel, and I used to hunt gators with during the Depression. And I had that thing, and I don't know what happened to it. When I left home, I left it on the wall there, and my parents are dead, and nobody in the family knows what happened to that shotgun.
Dang.
But I wish I had
Now
it.
you're triggering some other memories.
I wish I had that.
I have pocket knives that meant a lot to me, and I've lost them.
I don't know how I lost
One
some
of
of
them was
them.
given to me by Sammy Smith. I don't remember if you ever remember him. And he was a county
George, your
commissioner.
brother?
Yeah. And he gave me a pocket knife one day. And
Henry's
I had it for
brother.
years, and it's gone.
Disappear. How about you, man? What have you lost besides a Mustang and some money?
I must have never had
That's some hair.
anything to lose.
Born to lose.
Surely
Yeah,
you had
man.
something as a
Hey,
kid.
how'd you like to open up the box and an old girlfriend jump out that you
yeah.
lost? Remember me?
Well, wait a minute. All the girlfriends. Well, I didn't have any girlfriends.
Of all
come
the
to think of it.
girls I've loved before.
But all the girls that liked me were always the fat girls. Now, and the
Well,
ones
fat girls need love too.
I told you that
Yeah.
box was big.
they needed love. I was always on the run from them. I
Boogie,
said, no,
boogity.
I want that girl over there, not her.
No wonder he ran away from home. That's the real reason.
Another thing I would love to have back was one of my favorite Christmas presents I ever received:
Yeah.
a Red Ryder, a BB.
BB gun.
I
like the
loved
boy
that
on the
gun.
Christmas
I mean,
story.
that was like
I never had a BB
that was
gun.
like a coming of age thing.
Ever had a BB gun? Oh my goodness.
That was like a coming
I never
of
had
age.
my own
It
bicycle.
was like, oh boy,
You got
I'm
that?
big enough to have
Then you
a
got your
BB.
first either 22 or a
Yeah.
410.
and I
after
was
that.
big enough to go out in the yard by myself. hunt squirrels.
And you shooting birds left and right,
I'd shoot
wasn't you?
if it moved, I'd shoot it. Frogs.
Frogs.
I'd shoot
There
frogs.
you go. Bugs.
I mean,
How do you shoot a bird?
Well, you
I'll
can't
show
see
you.
that on the air.
Oh.
But skeeter hawks, we shot everything.
oh yeah, when it lighting on the.
They'd be sitting there on the
barbed
limb or
wire
something.
or-
Other. Pow.
But I would love to have that gun back, and somewhere along the line, I probably had some pretty nice baseball cards that I wish I had. But
Oh, there you go. I've lost a few hats and caps over the years.
oh, tell me
That
about
were my
it.
favorite.
Had them blown off, and
Okay, I just thought of something I lost.
All right. What was
All
it?
right.
you're mine.
So
There you go.
I found
Catch it.
I found a pair of sunglasses
Oh,
a couple
yeah.
years ago.
Maui Jims.
Well, I remember that.
Yeah, and it,
Then
but
I
I
lost
didn't
them.
know that they were very valuable until I lost them. And then Lee Wright sitting next to me in church said, "Mel, where's those expensive glasses you had? Sunglasses."
And you said expensive glasses.
Expensive? I said, I don't know. I said, I found them on the streets of Sarasota. And he said, well, those were Maui Jims. I said, yeah. Were they expensive?
Maybe Maui
Oh,
Jim.
yeah, they were
them.
very expensive. So then all of a sudden I was heartbroken because I figured, oh, no.
Hey, well, you didn't lose any money.
I did that.
But
same-
knowing that I lost something
Yeah.
expensive, that really,
even though
that
it
really
cost
got
you,
me.
I did this basically the same thing. I was in
Wow.
the restroom in Port Charlotte at a Hess station, right there in front of that Target,
Yeah.
and it's the individual restroom that you walk into and shut the door behind you. And
Man, I would never
went
use
in there
that
and I washed
restaurant.
my hands, and then went over there. They had a hand dryer, and I was drying my hands, and on top of the hand dryer was a pair of sunglasses.
Yeah.
And
That
I
was my
looked at
Maui
them.
Jims.
There they go.
No, they were wire framed.
Oh.
And I looked at them. I said, "Well, those are nice." I looked at them, and they were Oakleys. And I just hold on to them here for a minute. And I took them outside, and I sat there in front of that restroom for quite a while. And I figured, well, if a person, I figured, no use taking them inside because they're not going to return them.
Yeah.
I figured I'll sit there, and if somebody lost them and comes back for them, I'll give them to them.
Give them
I
5
sat
minutes.
there, yeah, I'll give them 15 seconds. But
15 seconds.
and
He's
anyhow,
wearing them. He's sitting out there next to him.
then I took them home and looked them up online. It was like $200-something sunglasses. I said, wow.
I can't see paying
And then I
for
let
that.
Dalton borrow them, and Dalton was in a crash, and they got lost in the crash, so I lost those.
My goodness.
Now we lost all our time.
Man.
We've lost our time. We're going to have to revisit this maybe sometime.
Yeah, we
I
will.
like this what if. We'll
I'm
have to
still
come back on
heartbroken.
I think if you'd go home and think about it, and triggering off of what you said and you said, that it kind of starts bringing back more stuff.
Yeah.
that. Yep. All righty. Well, boys and girls, y'all stay tuned. We'll be back next week for a brand new show. Same bat time, same bat channel. What is our frequency, Kenneth?
1480 AM on your radio dial, Arcadia's news and information station.